Welcome back, everyone. Starwing 7. Today, I just wanted to go a little bit in depth into what strategy and how my strategies changed from Season 2 to Season 3. So, yeah, I guess buckle up and, let me know what you guys have changed up in regards to your strategy and how you guys are trying to climb the leaderboard with the great gold constraint that we're all sort of suffering at the moment. So the first thing I'm going to do here, so my inbox these just popped up. So I am now able to do all of my attacks again. So what I'm going to do is switch all of my tools off, which, great, I forgot to do it to begin with. So this is one of the big downfalls of this technique is if you do forget to switch over your weapons to your tools, it will mess you up a little bit. I think it usually ends up maybe 1.5 million to 2 million diamonds that I lose out on per hour if I forget to switch that over. Anyways, next is I will remove these businesses. Now I do have the 2 that I land between at 0 income ready to be attacked. I was doing some attacking with some lower prestige businesses earlier. Typically I like to try to do P0s, P1s. I do have a few other businesses here. I believe I showed in another video, like a 20, a 16 that I could pair up. There's a 115. I've also got a couple 2s and a couple 1s down here. And then the rest are sort of just these, I'll put these down to try and target some other areas. Let's go and check the leaderboard here. There we go. So drop down, and I do attack this guy as well. We can start with him just because he's not playing. I do feel bad that he's a Legion member, but I'm unfortunately stuck between a non-faction and a Legion, so they're both getting hit. So I will start off with the aerial bombardment and hope for something around like 10. I think 10 is sort of my break even. That's a good hit. That definitely pays for almost another attack. Then I'll send in the gang here and do the kingpin. So there we go. That is a really good kingpin hit. So let's hope that boosts the land I need it to boost. And we'll do a malware. Hopefully we can get something in the 200s. Nice, that's a good hit as well. And then Savannah Bandit. Now I do Savannah Bandit because the land that I use does have obstacles on it. Now if you don't have any obstacle lands, which is basically all mythicals or primordials, then you probably won't be using Savannah Bandit. Now the Veil of Venom's really not that useful, but I do like to just hit them with it as well, as it does accumulate for the achievements, so I might as well use it while I'm attacking anyways. So there we go. Then I will drop my businesses back on, and I am looking for one more apex here, and I'll show you why, because if I do get another apex, I can hopefully place it here and get it to chain onto both of these banks as well. And then last but not least, make sure you go back, take your weapons off, and put my all my tools back on. So there we go. Now the land that I am using is my block nexus, as you can see. It's slightly under the Molten Forge and Sapphire Sanctum. So what I'm going to do is let's go to the Molten Forge here and see. I hopefully have enough gold. Might not. Pretty close. So I'm just trying to prestige it anyways, so I'll just push it up this way. So once I get, what is that, another, it's probably another, like, I'll be able to level that up by the end of the video here. So I will, basically what I've been doing in regards to leveling up is I try to keep my block nexus just slightly lower than the rest of the lands. Now, other than the Molten Forge, they're all fairly even, But what I'll do is I'll push my LL Sport up first, right? And then basically push it to about 490 because I can get really good gold generation. And then I like to also boost this one. So I'm going to toss a lightning boost on for the time being. That way we get a little bit extra out of it. So you can see now I'm almost at 1,000 times on this one, right? And if I get a couple more good kingpins and malwares, then this one's just going to keep getting boosted and boosted. So hopefully by the end of the video I can send out another attack and get this up even higher. And then that way with the bonuses, this is basically the business that's making me a lot of gold. And you can see I am able to take advantage of the Savannah Bandit because of these obstacles, where on the rest of my lands, and I honestly don't think they're worth it buying mythicals, because it is going to handicap you when it comes to your attacks. So that's why I'm basically playing off of just this land. Now with this, I do have as much of the combos set up as I can possibly do. If I go over to my next land here, you can see I also have this one all set up. Basically trying, I need to get another, I probably could level one up, no problem, but going to put another diner here to chain off of them, maybe another one here and another one here. And then that way this whole land is filled up with a bunch of business combos that'll help me out. But if we go over, these, I basically work off of these bottom three. So the Stygian, I've got another LL Sport on. Right, so this is the one I normally will push forward first and then follow with that other LL Sport and sort of just follow behind it. And then when I really need a good boost and I can afford it, I push this Museo de Leon up, and then I'm not really struggling at all with any of the, metrics when it comes to leveling up, because this business will outcompete the other, all of the Leo and Co's that I have. I did just buy this one, so this is going to significantly, once I bring it up, boost the land as well to really make this one that I'm not worrying about. And I'm doing this primarily because it doesn't have obstacles on it, so I don't get the benefit from that type of attack, right? So it'd be a waste to do the Savannah Bandit. And then we got the Lucent Ascent. So I do basically the same here. I am working on this Pride record as one business that would basically help out just like what the Owen Co's are doing, right? So again, I've got the Museo. That's going to be the main gold maker really for this land, just to keep it above the rest of the support businesses I have on my block nexus. And then this one competes with the LL Sport. Now it's not as competitive, it's usually a little bit behind, just because it is only a 5-star versus my LL Sport being a 6-star, which is why I'm trying to bring in this one as well. And I could easily bring it right up to 244. I guess 245 is where I'm looking at to get it to, but as of right now, I'm just sort of letting it sit there and just help out with the business combos. And then the last concerning land is my Crimson Reaches. And the only reason why I say it's like concerning, which I'm not really that concerned about, is because really this is the front running business that I push with, which is the Cyber Bazaar Q4. And then I've got the backup business, which really is the main powerhouse of this land. But this will be the second business I bring up once I'm getting to an income level that my block nexus might surpass. So then I'll bring this one up, and that basically helps guarantee this land isn't going to get caught up to for a while. Now the one thing to note, if we go back to my Sapphire Sanctum, so you can see that both of these are lower. So these will be almost the last businesses I'll bring up, right? So I will do this one and then sort of leave the Apex behind, and then I will move over to the Arcade, which is on Molten Forge. So it's basically a tie between these two businesses as to the last one that I raise up. But I usually go with the Arcade first because the bank does a lot more support than what these 4 resorts do. Now, if I do decide to bring up this Arcade, which I just bought off the market the other day for about 300k vouchers, It was already at P18, which is why I bought it. I may have jumped the gun a bit, especially if you look at the market right now. There's some decent-ish deals. Like I would have bought this over that other one, even though it's double the price. But it's quality 3, which means it's like 4 arcades in one, really, right? So that's a nice business. But maybe if it goes to 500, I might pick it up. Same with this. Like if it drops any lower to like 500, I'll pick up a 2-star, and that would be the apex that I'm looking for. So that's sort of the general sequencing that I'm doing, right? So I'll, basically push with the block nexus and then have to like keep up with these two, and they both have uncommons on them. And then I have to switch over to Crimson Reaches and get that uncommon up so that I can continue pushing with the block nexus LL Sport. And then once I get it up to a high enough level, I'm sort of needing to push with some of these as well, right? So like now we're able to push this up here. And I do a lot of the 1Xs just because I do find that it is helping. Plus, I mean, with the gold at this point, let me just mute it so it's not overly loud here. But yeah, so with the gold crunch that we're on right now, I don't really see a point in wasting the gold by just doing the 10x's. I've got more time than I've got gold now at this point. So when I am in here leveling up my businesses, I do take the time to do the 1x's. Now one thing I will say is that I do find that the games become a lot more passive, right? With this gold crunch, I think the developers are trying to push us more to a set it and forget it type style, right? So you come back, every 4 or whatever hours and check in on the game, do some leveling up here. And this could be, at least my speculation is in preparation for the exploration and the guild stuff. Once the exploration and monster fights and all that fun stuff, if it does come out and it's a lot more interactive, right? Like we're actually, traversing the lands, attacking the monsters, all real-time stuff, opposed to just setting out on expedition quests, right? That is going to be a lot more interactive and more of a time sink for us, which then would lend itself well to the availability of like, okay, we're just going to be in the city for like 10 minutes, go in, spend the gold, then we're going back out on an exploration for a couple hours, come back, we've got about 10 minutes worth of gold to spend, do that, prep for the next mission, and then you're off again, right? So I'm hoping that's sort of the reason behind why they've put in this massive gold crunch. But again, who knows really, right? It's still probably another couple months out, or at least probably not till sometime in August is my estimate as to when they'll probably have the exploration and guilds and the monster fighting coming out. So we'll level this up a little bit more once it gets to, I usually try to push to about 300-ish. You can see like it's still quite inexpensive relatively to push to about 300, 320, especially on these businesses. So that's a little bit over the halfway point for their income generation. Once I hit that point, then I switch over and I'll look to see what sort of range I have available to continue leveling up my existing LL Sport on the block nexus. So just in a couple seconds here, we'll get this up to the proper level that I like to stop at, which is 320. And the reason why I choose 320 is because the max level is 520. So that's just, if I do need to push quickly, I can just do 2 100Xs, get it up to prestige, and then I'm good to go. And you'll see, I'll show you right quick right after I do this, that the other ones are essentially prepped. Sometimes I end up stopping at like 369. When I do something like that, I'll end up pushing. But you can see, so this is already at 420, so it's just a quick 100X ready to go. Now this one is at 369, which is another number I'll stop at just because then it's a quick push. And it's a little bit closer to like the 75-ish% for the business. So it's another good number for these rares that I like to just stop at. Plus it's a funny number, so why not? So you can see now, my Sapphire Sanctum again is the constraint for me to continue pushing with the block nexus. So I'm going to go over to the Sapphire Sanctum. I should have a decent amount of gold still, as it, doing those 1x's allows it to continue to replenish. So I'll go over to my bank here. I can push up 18 levels, so let me just push this a little bit further to here. There we go. And that gives me a little bit extra that it can go up. So I'm going to go and do about 25 on this. I might, though, I am getting to the point where I don't know how much more I can go up with this one, just because of its cost. So I might, and the next thing for me is to switch over to this one, right? So this will probably be a little bit later on. I'll push this up and then prestige it, and then it'll be the one that I basically use to control the income level here, right? And just try to make sure it's just slightly under. And like I said, the reason why I'm doing that is because I like to have these take advantage of the Savannah Bandit, right? I know it's not a significant benefit, but it does help out. And this business is fairly strong. I might try to push it to a higher quality as well. But as of right now, it's performing fairly well for me. And this has got me between, a day and 2 days, depending on how much I'm actually playing. So I don't feel like I'm too slow, but I definitely am not as fast as I was prior to the update here. And speaking of the update, so, in Season 2, my major constraint was diamonds, right? Now you can see here, I'm not hurting for diamonds at all. As a matter of fact, I could be spending these diamonds on bringing up businesses to sell or whatever, right? Though, that being said, I am sort of looking to design my city with one of each of the major businesses. That was originally in the Season 2, that was my design. Now I'm thinking of pushing with 2. All right, so I've already got 2 LL Sports. I've already got, on deck at least, 2. Let me see, I can't. Yeah, I can go up a little bit more. So I'm going to just click a couple more times here until I run out of gold. I also have, as you saw on the Lucent, I have another Pride Records that's ready to go. And then as well on Crimson Reaches here. So I did buy these off the market. Somebody was selling them. Jal Q, I believe it was. So I picked these up, and I'm not really too worried about their quality. I do have businesses in the bank or in my inventory here that I can increase their quality. But again, they're just purely here for support, right? To make sure that when I am leveling up, this land is a more powerful land than what my block nexus land is. And this, again, is because I don't have the Savannah Bandit advantage on this one. So, I would need to go to my second land, which you can see I've got some LL Sports set up here. I've got one more ready to go. I'll put that slotted here once I either find one on the market, which I haven't quite found one yet for a good price, or if I just level one up. But I kind of also need them for merging, so let's just take a quick look here. Give us an idea of what we're looking at throughout the market anyways. Because this is a technique a lot of people have been doing is bringing up P10 ones just for combos. So let's flip through and see. Nothing really jumping out at me for anything I want to bid on at the moment. It's a little too expensive for what it is. If that was like a 67 for that price, sure, I'll pick that up. But 20K, I don't think that's worth it. Let's see what else we got on here. Actually, that's not a bad price here. 24 for a 104. Yeah, nothing really stellar. The businesses have come down, though, recently, I've noticed. So that's not bad. That's 2 for 1, basically. But yeah, we did see, and you may have heard DJ Oracle and I discuss it in the podcast, that there were quite a bit of blueprints that hit the market. It was like 28 pages of it. There was a big influx of all these businesses that came in, and it was sort of a huge flow of businesses. We saw the market dip quite heavily. That's not a bad price for that. I saw an arcade in Division One. I don't know what it ended up selling for, but when I saw it, I was like, man, I wish I could bid on this, because it was like at the price that I bought my P18. So unfortunately, I did not. We can't, right? And I'll show you right now. Right, we're not able to bid on this unless you're in Division One. So it sort of handicaps the seller in Division One, because they have only a few people that they can sell to. Right, if we go and take a look here at the leaderboard, I think it's only like 60 people, maybe. I'll just scroll through quick here. Find that bottom point. Oh, great. I don't know if you guys have been getting this error. I get this every once in a while as well. So now I need to reload the game. But you can see basically there's only about 60 people. I wish I would have been able to finish scrolling through before I had to reload here, but it is what it is. Just make sure that I don't need to. Yeah, that's why. And I think that might be why, is if your wallet signs you out, then it does that error sometime. Okay, well, while I sign back in, I guess, if you guys got any comments on, how you've changed your strategy from Season 2 to Season 3, I'd love to hear them, see what you guys have changed up. Me personally, my big change up is going to be now trying to run 2 of all the big businesses. Now, I'm not necessarily going to carry 2 of all of the large businesses, like a Motors and a bank and an Apex and an arcade, over to Division 1. But originally, my plan was to drop those businesses and just leave them at max prestige in Division 0. Now, with the way that the regions work, I don't think that will work. Essentially, I need to bring up all of those businesses, because you need to keep that balance across your regions. Whereas previously, we were just running off of our first land. So really, you could basically just stack your first land with the businesses that were in Division 1, and just have 1 or 2 really good generators. I had originally planned on just using my Museo. That was the real idea around it, and I believe it was this one. It was this Museo that I was originally going to use, and I was going to try to increase its quality as well. Bring it up to 3 or 4, and that way it would be basically my income generator. But now that they've changed it over to regions, as you can see, right, like I've got all of these businesses now, right, 2 Pride Records and a Museo on one land, whereas before it would have been just like, a Museo, maybe a Leo and Co, and a couple dens, and then the rest would be like Cool Cats, diners, gyms, right? But with this Season 3 update, the big change up for me has definitely been trying to balance all of my regions well enough so that also I can keep pushing forward without feeling too much of a gold constraint. Has it been working? I'm not too sure. I mean, this is I'd love to hear your guys' feedback on what you guys are doing, but this is essentially the plan that I came up with. Try to stick with my lowest rarity land. I mean, it's still a legendary, which I guess I should feel privileged to having this legendary, and it's not a bad configuration. I mean, it could be better. It'd be nice if these were a little bit spread differently, or even if this one was over here or something. But realistically, it works for me. It's been working okay, just because I can still keep these big businesses all on these obstacles, so they do get that Savannah Bandit bonus, and then it just comes down to essentially slowly leveling up, right? So I'm going to keep pushing this one here. Let me see how much more I can go. So block nexus, so I can go up 10 more, 10 BY. So I can bring this up to 343. So one thing though is I will stop at the 10 or the 100x. So I don't think I'm going to quite make it. It's not bad actually. So I stop here because this is 100x away from being max prestige, or sorry, max level to go on to the next prestige. So I usually like just to set it there so I know what's left that I need gold wise to be able to level it up. And then now I'm going to move over and start working on this one. So, actually probably should wait. I think I'm really close. Yeah, it's pretty close. So you can see my Sapphire Sanctum versus my Block Nexus. These are really neck and neck at this point. So I would switch back over to my Sapphire Sanctum. And the next sort of goal for me here is to continue leveling up this bank, right? This gives me the range for me to continue leveling up that Leo and Co now. At least until, let's just take a quick look. So the next closest one is Molten Forge, right? And I can easily just bring up another one of these dens, right? So when I need to, I can just grab one of these dens, level it up, and then I'm able to, basically 10x its income in a sense, right? So I can level it up and just keep pushing forward with that. I can also level up one of these, right? So if I need it, I can just bring this up to 369. That's another easy way, but that's kind of my technique, right? Is keep these lands a little bit above the block nexus. That way I can continue to level this one up and take advantage of the Savannah Bandit. All right, so we're just about ready. I'll do one more attack sequence here, and then I will hop off. So let me take a look. We are, 2 minutes away? Minute. Yeah, okay. So, once again, you got to go over to Sapphire Sanctum. Now, this is the way I like to do it just because, I don't have anything else on this region, and because I have that Apex in the bank, these two are really big powerhouses, a Q3 bank and then a Q1 Apex. They generate enough gold, even a prestige behind and lower level, to not really struggle to maintain a high ranked region or a high income region, allowing me to continue again to take advantage of my block nexus. So what I do is I remove all three of those businesses. Once I get another Apex, it'll be 4. So, I'll have them all chained up together so that I can increase my diamonds. And we'll come in here, make sure we unequip all of our tools, go over to our weapons, toss all our weapons on. We've got, about 30 seconds. So let's see, should be slow. There we are. Already ready to go. I believe I attacked the Legion member previously. So let's get ready for Pandux 97. And then we'll once again start off with the aerial bombardment. I like to, now this is a habit, I guess, from competition and previously also within normal mode, right? You would hit people with the aerial bombardment because it doesn't affect their gold, so it wouldn't move their rank position. Whereas if you hit them with a really strong kingpin, then it could potentially drop them, maybe 5 levels. It could even zero them out. So there we go, getting lucky with these hits. But yeah, so you don't. That's why, but now that they've changed it to randomly distributing the attack effects across the 5 of the 7 regions, it's not as, I guess, worrisome. Like, you're not able to zero somebody out, at least not easily. So it's less of a concern to start off with the aerial bombardment. You can really start off with whatever you want now, but I still do, just out of habit, start off with the aerial bombardment. I think of it as like, hey, they're my scouts. I'm going out scouting their city, seeing where their vulnerable businesses are and everything before I send out my main gold stealers. So it plays a fun little narrative. And then I hit them with the Veil of Venom to cover my tracks, smoke them so I can escape easier. But apparently the smoke job didn't work, so which, I mean, that's not really a big deal for me. Maybe as a lower level, right, it would make more sense to want to hit those Savannah, or both Savannah Bandit and your Veil of Venoms, just because chances are your lower business, when you're in the lower prestiges, like P10s, P15s, even up to P100, right, you might still see a slight gold boost, gold increase by using the Veil of Venom, because you still do get some gold from your uncommons. But let me just hop over here and I'll show you what I'm talking about in regards to this. So even just to take a look at something like this one here, right? So it's 11.28 BY. And then this one is 7 BX, right? So it's like 100. Well, it's way, like, it doesn't really commit any gold generation at all to my cities. So for the most part, it's pretty much useless, right? When you're into the 200s, it just our common businesses, unless they're, I don't even think if they were high quality, right? Like, for instance, here, I just wanted to check this. So yeah, unfortunately, none of those attacks decided to stack on this land. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but I mean, what can you do, right? Sort of held subject to the new attributes for the RNG. But let me just go take a look here, because this is a high quality common, right? So it does generate all right. I do spend a lot more time doing the 1Xs on this one. I don't really bother doing 1Xs on this, but that could in part be a reason why I just do these 100Xs. But still, even the top end range, right? So 4 100Xs would be like 12, right? So this rolled about mediocre, whereas with this one, I can get 5 BY on a 100X, right? So doing these 1Xs can balance out and get me into a better position for gold generation, where this one actually is helping somewhat. And that's the power of the quality on this, right? So quality 5, essentially, a lot of, what is that? So quality 2 is 2 put together, quality 3 is 4 put together. So then quality 4, 6, and then you're 12, right? So there's a lot of businesses, or might be 16, sorry. But yeah, it's a lot of businesses combined into one just to create this higher quality business. And that's what's giving it that extra range, right? So I personally, would suggest, if you're a newer player and it's like, hey, I got all these duplicates now, what do I do with them? We do have a lot of diamonds, so it is worth the risk, unless you really just want the vouchers to try and buy something. I would personally maybe take the risk at merging. Work on getting something like up to maybe quality 3. All right, a quality 3 can do some good work, right? I've got a quality 4 on my Stagian for my LL Sports, and it does fairly well. Again, we can't really compare apples to apples at the moment. 197 versus, go back to Block Nexus, versus 342, but again, that's also 50 levels higher, right? So it could potentially roll a bit better, but usually this one can be about 100 more per second, basically. So the quality is significant, and that's why I'm hoping to get this maybe up to 7 or 8. I don't know if I'll ever get it to 10. That is quite the feat. Now, that being said, if the developer decided to give out the blueprints that a lot of the veteran players had missed out on, and I do get a significant amount of LL Sports, maybe some quality 5s, quality 4s, things like that, I definitely would push. But as of right now, if I'm having to go to the market to purchase all of these businesses just to do the merging, yeah, it's not happening, right? Like, just there's no way I'm going to go and just purchase a bunch of LL Sports at like 2-3 crow, right? Like 20 cents here, 30 cents, 40 cents, whatever, right? Just to be able to try, right? And it's not like I'd have to merge these and then merge some more and then merge them again, and just the RNG on it, it's not very favorable. Hopefully maybe they do change merging a bit where you just decrease your quality. So if you fail the merger, the business that normally would get burnt to increase your quality would just get dropped down one quality, and then you have to bring it back up to attempt the merge again. That would be a lot more friendly in my mind, especially as people are pushing to Q10. It's going to really hurt when somebody burns a Q9 business, like a quality 9 business, for a attempt. Yeah, it's just gone, right? That's a lot of businesses, that's a lot of diamonds, and that's a lot of purchases off the market to be able to make that quality 9 business to just attempt a quality 10. Whereas if it gets dropped down to quality 8, they're going to still have to work to build up another quality 8 to merge to attempt it again. But at least they didn't completely waste all of those other businesses. So that's sort of a little bit of discussion around my sequencing here, right? That's what I've been doing. Whether it's the best option or not, I don't know. But it's just sort of the technique that I've been working through, and I've found success by bringing down my prestige time, at least to about a day and a half, right? I can usually, if I'm focused, pump out a prestige level about every day and a half, whereas before it was like almost 3 days of just having to wait on gold. But again, the drop down techniques and attacking, that's going to help decrease that time, especially if you can get some solid attacks and boost up this percent modifier, right? As you can see, I'm basically at 1,000 times more gold generation, right? So this is a lot nicer from BY to BZ, right? I guess it's a 10x. So again, you move that decimal over a little bit, and we're looking fine and dandy here. So hopefully you guys found some of this commentary helpful. Let me know down in the links or the comments below what you guys are doing, how you guys are changing up your strategy from season 2 to season 3. And yeah, if you have any suggestions for videos, let me know. And then the last thing I'll say is make sure you guys are doing your daily quests. They do help out. You get an extra 1% booster to everything, so you might as well try to check off 2 of them if you can. It'd be nice if we ended up completing 4, because there's 5 normally, and then 6 if you've got a loaded lion, a cyber cub, or a dark lion. So it'd be kind of cool if they started to give us out like a uncommon blueprint or even just a booster or something, right, to be able to incentivize us to complete more than just the 2 that are required. Right on. So thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. And yeah, we'll have to catch you in the next video once I've been able to play a little bit more with the business combos. I think maybe I'll do a little bit more in-depth into all the combos that I've laid out. I did give you a preview of most of them, but I think I want to try to digest again a little bit more on the actual boost benefits that you get from them. So keep your eyes out for that. Hopefully we've also maybe got a competition coming out soon, probably mid next month to maybe the end of the month. But I know they have another update coming out soon to hopefully address some of the concerns, especially regarding the blueprints. I do hope they address that in some manner, but we will see. Anyways, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.